DesJarlais from Tennessee is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Williams, you're CEO of Fannie Mae, correct?
Correct, sir.
Okay. Do you think that Fannie Mae is a success? It's the enterprise is succeeding, doing well?
Congressman, we've been given some very challenging goals, as I've articulated. We've needed to stabilize the company, to provide critical support to the marketplace as we've provided our liquidity and funding for both single-family and multifamily, while helping to reduce long-term credit losses and helping struggling.
Is it meeting your expectations as the CEO?
I think the team has done an extraordinary job under very difficult circumstances, sir.
Okay. And Mr. Haldeman, as far as Freddie Mac, you're the CEO. Do you think it's a success? Are you proud of the company? Do you feel good about where you're going?
I would divide the company into two parts, and this is in part a reference to an earlier question of whether I would invest in Freddie Mac. And that's a relevant issue because I've been an investment person for most of my life. And if I could divide Freddie Mac into two parts, I would definitely invest in the company from 2009 on. I'm incredibly proud of the work of our employees from 2009 on. We have a very, very high-quality book. Our people are entirely committed to making sure we participate in responsible lending going forward. Okay.
I mean, as CEOs, that's the answer I would hope to hear, that you're both, proud of your companies and you have high expectations for them. Since entering conservatorship, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, or the enterprises, have taken $169 billion from the Treasury and still owe taxpayers $141 billion. So government ownership of Fannie and Freddie is now the most expensive bailout of the 2008 financial crisis, which sets you on a different level than private sector companies who, if they're profitable, that's good. If they give big bonuses, that's fine. The taxpayers aren't paying for those, so they're not as concerned. But right now the taxpayers are paying for these, and they are very concerned, and that's why we're having this hearing. Mr. DeMarco, getting back to the beginning of the hearing when Mr. Issa, Chairman Issa, was talking about salaries, according to reports, Mr. Williams and Mr. Haldeman made about $4.7 million and $5.1 million respectively last year, and I think Mr. Williams' base salary was $900,000, and Mr. Haldeman was similar to that. So obviously big bonuses involved to reach that $4.7 and $5.1 million. And as was mentioned several times, President Obama makes $400,000 during the span. We as members of Congress make $174,000, and I think you made about $240,000. Do you think that the work of Mr. Williams and Mr. Haldeman warrants 8 times as much pay as the President of the United States?
As an economist, sir, I believe that what is perceived as the total compensation value and benefit of various positions goes beyond just the salary that's there. So I don't find it fruitful to measure the compensation of the President of the United States with those of CEOs of major corporations.
Well, how about members of Congress right now? The disapproval rating for Congress is pretty high, and even though I think all of our colleagues here feel that we work very hard, I think people feel we get paid too much, and our deficit is $14.3 trillion and rising. I think that if Congress felt that they should get a bonus because we're doing a good job right now, we'd all be voted out of office, and should be, because clearly, the deficit continues, and you all owe the taxpayers $141 billion. So when taxpayers are seeing millions of dollars in bonuses going to the executives, I understand their outrage, and Mr. Haldeman, you said you understood that too. So, Mr. DeMarco, as the conservator of Fannie and Freddie, you are nominally the boss of Mr. Williams and Mr. Haldeman. They can't do much without talking to you first. So do you think that their work is 10 times harder or 10 times more complex than yours? And maybe that the members of Congress, so is their salary difference justified?
I don't think anyone's going to agree, including me, that anyone's working 10 times harder than I am right now, Congressman.
Okay. Well, are they justified then? I mean, should they be getting $2 and $3
I believe
million
that given the
bonuses?
framework that was put in place, they are justified because the framework was designed in consultation with the Special Master of Treasury, looking at large financial institutions that operate as private companies, not as government agencies, to develop a compensation structure and amounts. I believe that what we struck here was an appropriate balance, cognizant of what the marketplace looks like.
Well, again, bonuses should be based on performance, and clearly, I think it's dubious that the performance is there to warrant $1 million of bonuses with that type of debt to the American taxpayers. I understand why they're upset. I'm upset, but I do thank you all for appearing here.
Thank you.